Hey everyone, this is Kevin again. I'm currently hiding beneath this paper, but believe me, I have every intention of showing my face. I just want to clarify something that I've been hearing all weekend, and it's been really frustrating to see the way that people in Washington don't just lie, but make every effort to perpetuate a lie. I just want to clarify exactly what two words mean relative to finance. The first thing is the word toxic. In a financial sense, or in terms of the economy, something that is toxic is worthless, meaning it has no value. An asset is a valuable item that is owned. So, what we can infer is something that is toxic cannot be, under any circumstances, an asset. I hope I've clarified this little confusion that has been running abound, and it wasn't just this weekend. It's been going on now for about 6 months. This constant effort by people within the government to confuse the people by referring to something that is toxic, these bad mortgages that should have never been made to begin with and were a huge part of our economic meltdown, referring to these toxic instruments as an asset. If they are toxic, they are worthless, hence, they cannot be an asset. Now, of course, the reason why the government is trying to perpetuate this myth is to avoid having to send some of their biggest political donors into bankruptcy court. Well, what do I mean by that? Simple. The financial industry is one of, if not the biggest, financial contributor to political campaigns. Of course, they made these bad loans, which are now toxic, meaning they are worthless, and instead of letting these businesses die the death that they so rightfully deserve, the government, which is these companies' whipping boys, are trying everything they possibly can to stick the tab for these toxic, worthless assets in quotes, onto the taxpayer. They used this idea to pass the first bank bailout, this idea that we were going to finance $750 billion to buy all these bad, toxic assets, again in quotes. Of course, that never happened. Now, did they go back and say, well, since we didn't use this money to buy these toxic assets, we won't take the money? Oh no, of course they gladly took the money, as we well know. But because they didn't use it on their intended purpose the first time around, now they're trying to stick us with a second, even larger bill. This one will easily exceed $1 trillion. Where's the uproar, folks? Why are people not furious about this? Now, I know there are a handful of people that recognize the government coming in, pillaging and plundering them of their what's left of their wealth. There are a few of us that recognize this fact. But where is the general outrage? Why are people not in the streets right now hollering and screaming over this? Why? Because they have been completely and utterly duped, and they don't even realize it. All it takes is to pick up a Webster's dictionary, look up the definition of the two words that I showed you at the very beginning: toxic an asset, taking those definitions and applying them to a financial meaning and realizing that the two cannot coexist together when describing the same thing. People, I implore you, I encourage you with every bit of my being to wake up to the frauds that are being perpetrated on us. It's happening to all of us. And if we do not challenge ourselves to make every effort possible to put a stop to this insanity, the road will never end. It will never stop, and it will persist and continue until each and every man, woman, and child in this country is completely and utterly destroyed financially, and the government has completely and utterly destroyed our morale and our sense of dignity. We cannot allow the government to continue to do this to us. It is wrong. It is in complete contradiction to the ideas and thoughts of our founders. We have to put a stop to this. Do not continue to allow this garbage to be perpetrated on us. Something that is toxic cannot and will not ever be an asset. This is just a starting point. If we can wake up to this fraud, every other attempt that the government tries to defraud us will be easier to stop. It's a simple, simple thing. If we employ common sense and use our collective common sense to put a stop to this, we will ensure a better future for ourselves, but more importantly, for our kids and our grandkids and their kids. To me, that's worth something. To me, that's an asset, a better future for all of us. Certainly not toxic, I can promise you that. So that's a challenge I'm issuing to each and every person that gets to see this video. Challenge yourself to make your situation better by smartening yourself up and cutting the fraudsters off at the knees who try to pass this off as legitimate. I hope you enjoyed this short little diatribe. I have every intention of giving you more videos here in the near future. Keep an eye out. You may see more. You may have a few laughs. You may have a few cries. But I can promise you, I'm going to keep them coming.